السلام عليكم ورحمة الله والحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وبارك عليه وسلم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. Dear brothers and sisters in Islam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us all to be successful on the day of judgment. Would like all of us, insha'Allah, to go to paradise. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, وَسَارِعُوا إِلَى مَغْفِرَةٍ مِّن رَبِّكُمْ وَجَنَّةٍ عَرْضُهَا السَّمَاوَاتُ وَالْأَرْضُ أُعِدَّتْ لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. And rush to the forgiveness of your Lord and to a paradise as wide as are the heavens and the earth. It is prepared for the righteous. So Allah wants us to race with each other and to win and to go to paradise. And He's promising us a huge reward. He wants us to succeed. Allah didn't create us, He wants us to fail and go to hellfire, wal-'iyadhu billah. He wants us to go to paradise. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, قُلْ يَا عِبَادِيَ الَّذِينَ أَسْرَفُوا عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِهِمْ لَا تَقْنَطُوا مِنْ رَحْمَةِ اللَّهِ إِنَّ اللَّهَ يَغْفِرُ الذُّنُوبَ جَمِيعًا إِنَّهُ هُوَ الْغَفُورُ الرَّحِيمُ. Say, O my servants who transgressed against their souls, who committed a lot of sins, do not despair, do not give up of the mercy of Allah. Surely Allah forgives all sins. Surely He is the forgiving, the merciful. This verse by itself tells us that Allah wants us to be successful. If He didn't, why would He create forgiveness? He would have said, you made a mistake, you pay the price. But no, He's saying, I'm willing to forgive everything except associating with Him. And the only thing we have to do is ask. So surely Allah wants us to succeed in the hereafter. We all know that Allah would like us to go to paradise. What about in this life? Does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala want us to be successful in this life? Some people that tell you, oh no, I'm not going to worry about this life. It's, this life is for the losers, the people who are not going to go to paradise. Is that what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us? To forget about this life? Or He wants us to be successful in this life as well? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to be successful in this life. How do we know that? Look at the hadith of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. He said, a strong believer is better and more beloved to Allah than a weak believer. And there is good in both. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves the strong believer. Who is the strong believer? The successful one. The one who is successful, whether it's in education, in his job, in his career, in his family life, whatever it is, he becomes a strong believer. And when you're a strong believer and successful, Allah loves you more. And in another hadith, the Prophet ﷺ said, the upper hand is better than the lower hand. The hand that gives is better than the hand that receives. So how does this apply? Of course it applies. In order for you to give, that means you're successful and you have more than what you need to the point you can help others. So Allah wants you to be successful so you can help others. He doesn't want you to sit back and say, let other people help me. That's not what Allah wants. He wants you to be successful and make a difference in the life of everybody. And if you notice in this hadith, He said the upper hand is better than the lower hand. He didn't say the Muslim upper hand is better than the Muslim lower hand. No, as a Muslim, we're supposed to help, Muslim or non-Muslim. That's what Islam is about. It's not about discriminating. You're Muslim, I'll help you. Or you're not Muslim, too bad. Find somebody else to help you. No. The Muslim is the one that's successful and help everybody. So yes, God wants us to be successful. God created us for a reason. He didn't create us by accident. Every one of us has a mission in this life. Everyone. We have a purpose. We have not been created and who knows what we're going to do. No, Allah put us in this earth at this time, in this place, for a purpose, and He expects us to be successful in our mission. He wants us to succeed. He didn't put us there and say, maybe you're going to fail. No, He knows that you should be able to succeed. He wants us to be successful in our life, in our career, in our marriage, in our family, in our relationships, in everything. He wants us to be successful. So how can we achieve success? It's easy to talk about success, but what is the things that we need to do to be successful? The first thing that we need to do is choose your goals. You have to define what are your goals in life. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us what our goal in the afterlife should be. He said paradise. So we know that's our goal in the afterlife, to go to paradise. And He told us how we can get there. Obey me. Obey me, period. When I tell you do this, you do it. I tell you stay away from this, you stay away from that. So that's our road to success for the hereafter. But here in life, we need to know our goals. Write them down. And at least once a week, look at them. Are they still good goals for you, or they changed? And then when you write your goals, you have to be specific. Your brain, your body, your emotions will help you if they understand what are your goals. If they don't understand them, how they can help you. I'll give you an example. Some people, you ask them, and they tell you, my goal in life is to make money. Okay, so if I give you a couple of quarters, are you going to be happy you achieved your goal? No, I'm not talking about a couple of quarters, but that's money. Oh no, I'm talking about I want to have $100,000 in my bank account. Now you're specific. Don't be vague. Don't say, I want to have money. Some people say, I want to be happy. Okay, if I tell you a couple of jokes and make you laugh, are you going to be happy? No, I mean happy. I want to have a good family, a good wife, a good husband, children, good job, a good house. Then be specific. What exactly you're looking for? What is your goal in this life? Be specific. You cannot hit a target if you don't know what is that target. If somebody gives you a gun and tell you shoot a target, which target? Same thing with your brain, with your body, with your emotion. If you don't know what is your goal, how you're going to help? And whenever you have a goal, a lot of us, our goals are not really big goals. You have to aim high. Some people, when you ask them, what is your goal? They say, oh, my goal, I want to make it through the months. I want to have enough money to make it through the months. That's not a goal. Your goal should be, I want to be financially independent. I want to never be, in a position to suffer. I cannot make it this month. I want to be every month, I'm living comfortable. I'm taking care of my family. I have money saved in the bank if there is an emergency. Then that's a goal. But to make it through the months, that's not a goal. So you have to have goals in your life. The next thing is you need to trust Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمَنْ يَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ فَهُوَ حَسْبُهُ. And if anyone puts his trust in Allah, He is sufficient for him. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِنْ يَنْصُرُكُمُ اللَّهُ فَلَا غَالِبَ لَكُمْ. If Allah helps you, none can overcome you. None can defeat you. So you have to trust Allah. You have to put to trust in Allah that He is going to help you. And trusting Allah means you accept the results that you get. If you trust Allah, you accept it. You don't say, that's not what I wanted. I wanted this and Allah gave me that. That's not what I wanted. If you trust Allah, sooner or later you are going to be successful. It's a matter of you cannot see what Allah is preparing for you. Allah is preparing things for you to get you to success. But if at one point you give up and say, that's not what I wanted, then you don't trust Allah. So you have to trust Allah. And the next thing is you have to trust yourself. Believe in yourself. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَإِذْ قَالَ رَبُّكَ لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ إِنِّي جَاعِلٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ خَلِيفَةً. And when your Lord said to the angels, I'm going to place in the earth a representative. This verse is amazing because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He created everything. He created the angels, He created the jinn, He created the animals, the birds, everything, and human beings. Of all those creation, the creation that Allah trusted is you. He trusted you of all of those. So if Allah trusted you, how come you don't trust yourself? If Allah trusted you, He knows you can do it. How you don't have confidence in yourself? How can you say, I'm not sure I can do it. I don't have the capability. You have to trust yourself. Allah trusted you. And God gave you everything you need to be successful in your mission. Everything you need. If Allah wanted you to fly, He would have given you wings. If He didn't give you wings, that means He doesn't want you to fly. So whatever Allah wants you to achieve, He trusted you and He gave you everything you need. So trust yourself, you can do it. If you are a plumber, Allah gave you everything you can do it to be successful. If you're a programmer, Allah gave you everything to be a successful programmer. If you're a doctor, if whatever you are, Allah gave you everything to be successful. A father, a mother, give you everything to be successful. And it is very important for us as human beings that you think of what Allah gave you. Most of us, we spend our time thinking of what Allah gave other people. What Allah gave other people is perfect for their mission. It's not perfect for you. If it was perfect for you, Allah would have given it to you. But it's perfect for them. If Allah makes somebody speak 5 languages, it's for a reason. The job that Allah is expecting from him will need 5 languages. If Allah gave you strength, physical strength, it's for a reason. Your job that you're gonna do, your mission in life requires strength. So everything that you need, Allah gave you. Don't worry about what Allah gave other people, because you don't need it. And do the best with what Allah gave you. Don't waste your time. You have everything. Do the best with what you have. You have all you need to succeed. I'll give you an example. If you're going to buy a new car, you go to the dealership and the guy comes to you and say, you know, we have special tires. They do this and they do that. They last 100,000 miles. You say, oh, okay, I would like to have them. Then he comes and tells you, I have a stereo sound that you can put in the car, 1,000 watts. When you turn it on, it's going to make the cars in the street shake, all of them. You tell them, I'm not that kind of guy, you know, I don't want that. Then what about this? What about that? You start to say, this yes, this no, this. At the end you say, that's the car I want. This is all I need in a car. Same thing, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did that with every human being. You are not missing any options that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgot to include in your package. Every options that you need is there and more. So don't waste time looking for excuse why you cannot succeed in life. Unfortunately, we human beings are our worst enemy. Each one of us is the worst enemy of themselves. Because we keep telling ourselves stories. We keep telling ourselves stories about, you remember you did this one time and you failed, and you did this and you failed, so don't try a third time. You're your worst enemy. Remember the good. If you keep having those negative thoughts, change them. Don't think the negative thing. Think about the positive things. Don't let those hold you back from achieving your success. It is very important that you trust yourself. I'll tell you an interesting story. In one of the big universities, one of the top universities in the countries, one of the professors wanted to do an experiment. So what he did, he said the final test is going to have 100% of your grade. 100%. None of the tests you did during the quarter is going to count. The final test, that's it. So when all the students came and they sat down, before he handed out anything, he said to them, if any of you would like to get up and leave the test room, I'll give you a C. Guaranteed, no question asked. I don't care about you studied, you didn't study, I don't care. You will get a C. Anyone, more than 2/3 got up and they wrote their name and they left. 1/3 stayed, they didn't leave. And then he handed out the test paper. Then he said, before you turn it over, are you sure this is the right decision you made? They said yes. So he said, then turn over the test. They turned over the test, and on the sheet it says, congratulations, you got an A+. But more important, you are on your way to success. Because they trusted themselves. Those 2/3 are going to be the guys that are going to stay behind. They're going to be all their life complaining. I don't have enough money. My children are this. My life is that. Life is now pushing me left and right. But the third that remained, they are going to be the people who are successful. They trusted themselves. They said, yeah, I can do it. I'm not going to accept a C. I'm better than a C. And they did. The other thing, to succeed, there is a word that you have to erase from your vocabulary. You should not have it. You should forget it. The word is failure or loser. You cannot have that word. It's kill it. If somebody mentioned to you, I said, never heard that word. I don't know what it is. You have to take it out. If you read the Webster Dictionary, they're defining success by saying the correct or desired result of an attempt. That's their definition of success. If you look at the Prophet ﷺ, when he was being persecuted, he and the companion, and they were being tortured, some of them killed, their life was so miserable in Mecca, and they wanted to immigrate, to get out of Mecca, so they can worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Prophet ﷺ went and talked to one tribe, and they said no, to 2 tribes, 3, 4, 5, and more, and more, and more. He talked to many tribes, and every one of them say, no, we cannot take you to our place and protect you and all of that. We're afraid of the people of Mecca, of Quraysh. Did the Prophet ﷺ stop and say, I tried once, twice, 3 times, and I failed. It's over. I'm a loser. I cannot do it. Astaghfirullah. He didn't. He kept going and going and going until he found the people of Medina, and he talked to them, and they said, oh yeah, we would love to have you over. Please bring your companion and come over to Medina. And that's what we need as a Muslim. You have to be able to forget the word failure or loser. You tried, you have an attempt, didn't work. I'm going to try again. I'm going to try 3rd time, 5 times, whatever it takes. We have to remember, in life, there is only results that can be favorable or unfavorable, but there is no failure. There is no loser. If we do not try, the world would have not been what it is today. Just imagine if everybody from thousands and thousands of years, everybody said, oh, I failed, I'm going to stop. What would it be today? We wouldn't have medicine, we wouldn't have cars, smartphones, homes, nothing. We would have nothing because everybody, they are going to fail. But they try and keep moving. All successful people do not believe in failure. They do not. They believe only there is results. I'll tell you a story. One of the most famous names in the Silicon Valley, Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple. Steve Jobs in 1983, he came out with a computer called Lisa. I don't know if any of you remember the Lisa or not, but he came up with a computer called Lisa. And Lisa had the same interface as the Macintosh, the pull-down menus, the icons, all of that, but it had several problems. One of the problems, it was using floppy disk, flimsy floppy disk. The size of the hard drive was 5 megabytes. It was nothing. So he introduced it, and on top of that, to make it worse, it was $10,000. In today's dollar, you're talking about $25,000, $30,000 for a computer. So who can afford that? So it was not a success at all. But what did he do? He didn't sit and say, oh my God, I'm a failure, I'm a loser. No. The next year, in 1984, he introduced the Macintosh. And it changed the whole computer industry. If he didn't do that, we wouldn't be today enjoying even color screen. Because before him, there was nothing called color monitor. It was all either green or black and white. But he didn't. He didn't sit back and say, I'm a failure, I'm a loser. He just kept moving. Learn from the past, but don't live in it. Don't sit all the time thinking, you remember 5 years ago I did this and this and that. It's over. Remembering it is not going to help you. Learn from the past, have an experience. I now have more experience than before, but move forward. Don't stop. Don't keep looking behind you. You cannot drive a car if all the time you're looking behind you. You're going to get into an accident. That's why if you think about it, when you're driving a car, even the manufacturer of cars, they give you a huge windshield and a small rear view mirror. They didn't do the opposite. They didn't give you a huge mirror and a small windshield. So they are telling you, look in front of you. And every now and then, look back and remember so you can gain more experience. The other thing is visualize yourself as a winner. Imagine yourself as a winner. Think about it. Close your eyes. See yourself when you're a winner, how you're going to be, how you're going to look. What are you going to do? Am I going to have a bigger house? I'm going to have a nice car. I'm going to have this. I'm going to have that. Imagine yourself successful. Because that's important. How do we know it's important? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when you read the Quran, everywhere in the Quran, Allah is trying us to make us visualize paradise. He's telling us the palaces, how they're going to look like. The ground, they're going to be made of pearl. The trees, their trunks will be made of gold. The food that we're going to eat. The happiness. When you read the Quran, you can see paradise. You can smell paradise. You can hear paradise. You can touch paradise. And that's what you need to do. Allah make us feel all of those things so we can be motivated to keep moving toward paradise. In 1964, there was a boxer who was a new boxer. His name was Muhammad Ali. We all know Muhammad Ali. He passed away. May Allah forgive his sins and admit him to paradise because he was a good Muslim. So Muhammad Ali was a new boxer, young. He just got Olympic medal, gold Olympic medal, and he had to fight a fighter called Sonny Liston. Sonny Liston was a criminal. He was in jail many times, and he learned boxing in jail. And he was a very, very strong person and big. To the point, Sonny Liston, when he played for the world title to get the heavyweight championship title, he played against another guy. In the match, he punched him in the face. He broke his jaw. So strong, broke the jaw of the guy. And to the point where there was a lot of people in line to fight him. Many of them refused to fight him. They said, I'm not interested in the title. I'm not going to fight him. So Muhammad Ali said, I will fight him. And I'm going to fight him for the title. But then people were surprised. Every time there is a news conference, Muhammad Ali would keep saying things that are really weird, strange. People didn't understand what he's talking about. They thought he was kind of panicky or scared. He used to say, your hands can't hit what your eyes can't see. Your hands can't hit what your eyes can't see. And he kept saying, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. People said he lost it. He's so scared. He's just saying crazy things. And then they had the game in Las Vegas. And what happened is Muhammad Ali visualized how he's going to beat Sonny Liston. He visualized what he was telling us is his strategy. What happened, he knew Sonny Liston is very strong and very powerful, but very heavy and very slow. So he said, my strategy will be is to go around him so fast, left, right, left, right. At the time he turns to the left, I'll be on his right and punch him. And at the time he's going to be turning to the right, I'll be on his left. And he kept doing that, and he beat him. He beat him. But he visualized how he's going to be a winner, a successful person. We need to do the same. Prepare yourself, work hard, and do your part. And then visualize yourself as a winner. The other thing is be optimistic. All successful people have another thing in common: optimism. They never look at things that it's dark, it's hopeless, no way. They wouldn't start if that's their feeling. How can I start a company if I believe that I'm going to fail? Why would I start? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, سَيَجْعَلُ اللَّهُ بَعْدَ عُسْرٍ يُسْرًا. Allah will grant ease after difficulty. So Allah is promising you there is ease coming. If He promising you that and you trust Allah, then every day when you wake up in the morning, you say, today my difficulty is going to go away. Every day. Even if it doesn't go away today or tomorrow or next week or next month or next year. Every day you have to believe that today is going to be the day that's going to make a difference. That's how you're going to be successful. Because one day is going to happen. Because Allah promised it. It's not because you think that you're good. No. Because Allah promised that after difficulty there will ease come. So you have to believe in that. Be optimistic. And then start with the possible. Whenever you start anything, start with the possible. Start with small successes. Some people, they want to start immediately big. No, start with small successes. The Prophet ﷺ, Sayyidah Aisha told us that the Prophet ﷺ, anytime he was giving an option between more than one thing, he always chose the easiest. Always. He's giving us a message. If you start with the easiest, you start with the things that are possible, you're going to succeed. And if you succeed and taste success, success brings success. You're going to continue. And not just that, if you fail one time, you remember you succeeded before. Okay, so it's just a one time. I'm going to keep going. But you have to keep trying to do success and start with the easy so you can be successful. And then, excellence. The Prophet ﷺ told us, Allah loves that when any one of you does a job, he should perfect it. So whenever you do anything, whatever the job you're doing, whether you're fixing the roof, whether you're fixing a leaky faucet, you're cooking, you are doing a program, don't cut corners. A lot of people that tell you, why don't you cut corners? Just do it. You have to look for excellence. Allah expecting from you that you're going to do the best you can. That's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is expecting from you. And Allah rewards excellence. If you are following the rules of Allah and you're doing your best in everything you do, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to reward you. Reward you by making you successful, not regular success, big success. But you have to do that. And learn from others. Ask people who are successful in the area that you're interested in, who can help you. Learn from them. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us that. It's not an invention. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, فَاسْأَلُوا أَهْلَ الذِّكْرِ إِن كُنْتُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. So ask the people of the reminder, the people of knowledge, if you do not know. Allah is telling us that. So if I don't have experience in every area, the area you don't have experience, go and ask somebody who has experience. Learn from them. Some people, their ego gets in the way. Am I going to go and ask him? Of course. Ask whoever can help you. At the end, your goal is to be successful. Forget about your ego. Your ego is not going to help you with anything if you don't achieve your goals. Who cares? You have a big ego, but you're not successful. So ask the people that can help you. And study the lives of successful people who are successful in that area. Study their lives. Take classes. Like if you want to be a successful investor, a lot of people, they tell you, I want to be a great investor. Okay, who do you know that's successful investor? Read how did he become successful. If you want to know, go look for Warren Buffett, the most successful investor. How did he do it? Learn and study his life. Then try to be like him. Then you're on your way to success. And then be flexible. Some of us are very rigid on the road to success, so they don't get there. It's very hard. It's exactly like, for sake of discussion, if I tell you, go to Santa Cruz, and you get on the freeway and you hear on the radio, they tell you there is a rock slide or a mud slide and Highway 17 is closed. You don't keep going until you get there and stop and say, I'm not moving, I'm staying there. Okay, so you're going to stay there for 2 days until they open the road? Why don't you go through Monterey, go through Half Moon Bay, go through a different direction? Be flexible. But the most important thing when you're flexible, never forget your goal. So you don't get distracted. You're going to Santa Cruz and you go to Half Moon Bay and say, okay, I'm going to spend the day in Half Moon Bay. What about your goal to go to Santa Cruz? You have to remember your goal. Flexible doesn't mean forgetting your goal. And then keep your eyes open for opportunities. Why I'm saying there is opportunities? There is opportunities always in front of you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, إِنَّ مَعَ الْعُسْرِ يُسْرًا. Surely with every difficulty comes ease. It comes with it. There is every difficulty, there is ease that comes with it. This means that are some problems, but every time you're going to be faced with problems, there is opportunities that are coming with them, always. So what are you going to do? Pay attention to those, because that's how you can be successful. I've seen a lot of people make a lot of money. When they were talking about, I don't know if you remember, there was the Y2K, the year 2000. A lot of people started to say there will be, all the computers are going to crash, all the problems. Many people came up with a lot of ideas and made millions of dollars out of that idea, even though after 2000, nothing crashed, nothing happened. But they worked on the fear of people and made money. So every time there is a difficulty, there is a lot of opportunities with it. I'll tell you a story. In 1968, there was a scientist, his name is Dr. Spencer Silver. He worked at a company called 3M. I don't know if all of you know 3M. 3M is one of the huge corporations in America. And he was attempting to develop a super strong glue, super strong adhesive. And then he invented it and he brought it out so they can test it. It turned out to be a super weak adhesive. From super strong, it turned out to be super weak. And he was kind of disappointed. They spent a huge amount of money, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars, and the end result was disaster. And nothing happened from 1968 until in 1974. One of the people in the lab was Dr. Spencer Silver. His name is Art Fry. That person loved to read books. And he loved, when he read book, he write little, notes next to a chapter or something. Everything, he writes his reflection on that particular area. He write it down. And then he got tired because after he write it down and then you read the rest of the book, he changed his mind. So he go back and start to erase it and write a new note and all of that. Then he went and got a bottle of that weak glue and went to the lab next door and asked them, do you have any scrap paper? They said, yeah, we have some yellow paper. So he took the scrap paper, the yellow paper, and started to put that glue on it. And then put it in the book and write his notes. When he's done and he changed his mind, he pulled that thing, it's super weak glue, and put another one. The people in the lab loved it. Everybody told him, can you do a little bit more for me? Others. Then the company paid attention. And they found out that this is a great opportunity to make money. And they created a division called Post-it Notes. And it became a multi-billion-dollar business. With failure, with difficulty, there is success. There is opportunities. Keep your eyes open because those opportunities are there. Allah promised that they are there. And have a balanced life. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَكَذَلِكَ جَعَلْنَاكُمْ أُمَّةً وَسَطًا. Thus we have made you a moderate nation. Some people on their way to their goal, what they do, they work day and night. But then what happened? They get burned out. And they can't continue. There was a person that I know, he was a programmer, and he was one of those people. And then he got burned out. He couldn't work at all. He left the programming profession and he became a public bus driver. Because he got burned out. He couldn't take it anymore. He can't. He couldn't sleep. His life was miserable. So you need in your life to be moderate. Push and push hard and work hard, but be moderate. Otherwise, you may pay the price and you may not be able to continue your trip. And be patient and do not give up. In life, when you're heading toward your success, your goal, sometimes there will be delay, there will be setback. Do not give up. They are just delay and setback. People who were invested in the stock market in 2008, when the stock market collapsed, a lot of people, some of them I know very well, they panicked and they sold all their stocks. And when they sold all their stocks, they lost huge sums of money. But the people who were patient and didn't panic, the market not only recovered and went higher than before, and they made more money. But don't panic, don't give up. Be patient. Success is coming, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us, وَبَشِّرِ الصَّابِرِينَ, and give glad tidings, good news to the patient. What is the good news? There will be a reward coming. That's why I'm giving you good news. Be patient. It's very hard, it's very easy to start anything, but it's very difficult to finish. And that's where patience comes in. If I tell all of you, I want you to start a business tomorrow, every one of you can go out tomorrow and start a business. But how many of you 2 years from now will have their business continue? Not that many. Maybe one or two. Same thing, if you watch people who run marathon, they run 40 kilometers. When you look at the beginning of the marathon, the New York Marathon or the Beta Breakers in San Francisco, there is tens of thousands of people starting the race. You won't believe it. You think like, it's the end of time and everybody's there. But then you go to the finish line, not that many get there. So be patient. Do not give up. That's how you're going to achieve that. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, أَلَا إِنَّ نَصْرَ اللَّهِ قَرِيبٌ. Surely the victory of Allah is near. So it's coming, but be patient. There is a famous actor that I think most of you may know his name, Sylvester Stallone. Do all of you remember his name? Rambo and Rocky and all of those things. Sylvester Stallone, when he was born, an accident happened in the delivery room. The doctor who was delivering the baby hit a nerve in his face. And when he hit the nerve in his face, it paralyzed half his face. So Sylvester Stallone, when he smiles, he has a funny smile. One side is smiling, the other side is not smiling. When he speaks, he has a slur speech. You have a hard time understanding what he's saying. But he wanted to be an actor. And he tried. All he was able to do is maybe get a 1 minute in some movie or something like that. And he was struggling. Many times he was living in the street, sleeping in the street. But he didn't give up. And then one day he wrote a story about a boxer, called it Rocky. And he went to the studios to ask them if they can accept that thing. Many studios said, yes, we'll take that story and we're going to have somebody act it. He said, no, I have to be the one who's going to act it. Every studio said no, until one studio said yes. We'll take the story and we're going to make you the lead actor. You're going to be Rocky. And they did the movie and introduced it in 1976. And in 1976, the movie was nominated for an Oscar for Best Actor and Best Writer. And then he came up with 6 Rockies. And then he came up with Rambo and came up with all those movies. But if he gave up, he wouldn't be Sylvester Stallone. He would be a bum in the street, a homeless guy. He didn't give up. He kept moving and trying, and that's what you need to do to be successful. And have a support group. Surround yourself with people with positive attitude. Attitudes are contagious. If you are sitting around people that all the time say, life is miserable, there is no way to succeed, there is no hope, you're going to be like them. If those people are your friends, run away from them. You're in trouble. There is no way you're going to succeed. And the Prophet ﷺ told us that. He said, a person follows the religion, the way of life of his close friend. So you should be very careful who you choose for close friend. So we have to be careful. Choose the right friend that's going to help you move forward. If you want to be a lion, don't hang out with sheep. You will never be a lion. You're going to be like a sheep. So that's what you need to do. Hang around people who have the same motivation as you. So even if when you're down, they will pull you up. You are not going to be staying down. They're going to tell you, so what? It didn't work out. Try again. What's the big deal? But if you're around those people, I told you, you're not going to be able to do it. You should have stayed home. You should have never tried. So stay away from those people. Have support group around you that will help you succeed. And now, inshallah, when you succeed, and you will succeed, what do you need to do? The first thing, you need to protect your success. How you protect it? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, لَإِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ. If you are grateful, I would certainly give you more. Allah said that. That is your protection for your success. And what does it mean being grateful? Not just by saying, Alhamdulillah wa shukrullah. That's fine. You have to say that. And you have to say it. But by action. Your action should show to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that you are grateful. So you obey Him with what Allah gave you. What do I mean by that? If Allah gave you wealth, then use it to help people, not to hurt people. Not now I have money, so I'm going to be able to show them what I'm going to do. No, help people, help the less fortunate. If Allah gave you strength, then use it to help the weak, not to be a bully. Use whatever Allah gave you and thank Him by helping the less fortunate. That's how you protect your success. And the other thing is, to protect your success, pay it forward. Pay it, give it to other people, help other people to move up and to succeed. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَأَحْسِن كَمَا أَحْسَنَ اللَّهُ إِلَيْكَ. And do good to others as Allah has done good to you. So do that. Allah wants you to help others. Not only help yourself, but help others. You were successful, you were able to get a good job. If you find somebody who doesn't have a job, and you hear about they have a job in the company, hey, why don't you give me your resume? I'll pass it on to somebody in the company. The same way that Allah helped you, then help others. Allah will protect your success and give you more. Because Allah said, لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ, I'll give you more. So help protect what you have and get more. You owe God. So God is asking you to pay it forward. Help the less fortunate. If you look around you, even today, the non-Muslim are doing that. Look at Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Warren Buffett. All of those are giving billions and billions of their fortune to other people. They didn't say, I'm Bill Gates, I made $76 billion, I'm going to keep it for myself. He's donating most of his money. Warren Buffett, he had $48 billion. He's giving away $46 billion. Zuckerberg, he promised that he's going to give most of his fortune to charity. And he started. He gave $100 million to school, $60 million here. All of that, they are appreciating and paying it forward to other people. And at least, if you don't have money, give hope to people. At least you can do that. You can tell them, you know, I was in the same position you're in. I didn't have a job. And I was in a difficult situation. And my bills were piling up and all of that. And alhamdulillah, Allah solved my problems. Everything is worked out fine. Everything is great. You give people hope. So at least, if you cannot help, then give hope to people. If God gives you a lot, He's expecting from you a lot. So don't forget that. And then I left the most important thing to last. The most important thing on your way to success is enjoy every day in your life. Enjoy the people that are around you. Enjoy everything that you have. Enjoy your spouse. Enjoy your children. Enjoy when they are little, when they grow, when they get bigger, when they are teenager, when they grow up. Enjoy everything. You have an old car. Enjoy that old car. You live in a tiny apartment. Enjoy that tiny apartment. Because two things can happen. Number one, they may leave you or you may leave them. They may leave you, you forget about your children, and one day they're going to college and they're gone. And you say, what happened? I never had time with my children. You lost. So you missed them. Or you may be gone. We all don't know when we're going to move on to the hereafter. We don't know. So you wasted your life. You didn't enjoy them. And the second reason why you should enjoy it is because you may or may not reach your goal. And if you didn't reach your goal, then you wasted your life. And you didn't enjoy anything in the meantime. You didn't enjoy it. And if you reach your goal, some people, you reach your goal and they found out that success is not what they expected. And I heard it from a lot of people. They achieve their goal and then they say, you know what? I didn't want to be a president of the company. Now I cannot spend time with my family. I cannot do this all the time. People call me. I have all those responsibilities. I wish I was back to where I was. So you may not, when you achieve success, it may not be what you expected. It may not be. And you will feel bad that you wasted all your life. Success in life, it's not just trying to reach your goal. But more important, success in life is to enjoy your trip to your goal. Enjoy it. Any questions? Any comments? I'm going to wear my glasses. Okay? So I guess I covered everything.
So we have a lot of questions.
It's always the one that's the one that starts the first is gonna get the big prize. Any questions? Okay, then.
We have questions.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I think, as you said, you covered a lot of things, and mashallah, it's very comprehensive. It's like the whole, we have an excerpt of the whole of like this lessons from great people, just like in a few minutes. It's subhanallah.
Alhamdulillah.
So, my question is about getting burned, because this is like a new things that I just realized when because I'm new here in Bay Area, and also my friends in the office ever mentioned about this getting burned problem. So do you have any tips to remind us again about not to get burnt of this, because this might be something that will be really disaster that can cut all our efforts to move forward, because this is a big thing. So is there any tips like for us in the office or if we want to start a business for not to get burnt? Because on one side we have to be totality to our goal, right? Because we cannot, we have to face competition, right? Whether it's a company, whether it's at work, we always have to keep on moving forward. It's kind of a competition against like in companies we have competition against other companies, for example, or in office we have competition against ourselves to keep on moving forwards. More jobs, never endless jobs coming from the company. So, is there any tips for us to keep get the high maximum, but at the same time not to get burned? So.
Sure. That's one of the things I said, that you need to have a balance, moderation. Because what happens if you work hard and keep pushing yourself in everything you do, there is a law called the law of diminishing return. That's a law in economics. And what does it mean? That means anything at some point is going to go down. Anything. So in other words, like if I come today and tell you, I'll give you $100 in exchange to do this and this and that. Are you willing to do it? You have no money. You say, oh yeah, I'm willing to do it. Now you have $100 in your pocket. I'll tell you, I'll give you another $100 to do this and this and that. Your answer is going to be less excited than the first $100 because you already have $100. Now you're going to think again, okay, I'll do it. Maybe when you have like $1,000 in your pocket, if I come to the next one, I tell you, I'll give you $100, you're going to say, no, I cannot do that. I'm happy with 100. So the idea is when you're working in anything, you work the first hour, you're going to be very productive. Second hour, third hour, 8th hour, then you're going to start to go down. 9th hour, you're less productive. 10th hour, 11th hour, 12th hour, you're going to start to make mistakes. 13th hours, you're in trouble. 14th hours, you don't know what you're doing. And I've seen it in company. I had people working for me and I've seen that happen. They think that by sitting and working hard, long hours, that definition of working long hour, of working hard is working long hours. No. The key thing is that you achieve what you're working on and do it correctly. Because it takes twice as much effort to correct something that you did wrong than doing it right the first time. So balance yourself. If you start to feel you're tired, stop. Don't worry about people around you. Why do you think companies, the new companies that are the hottest company these days, like Google, like Facebook and all of that, they give their employees everything they want. You stay at work, they give you, food, they give you a massage, they give you a haircut, they wash your clothes, they have doctors, they have a gym, everything. Because they want to own you. And when they own you, at some point, you're going to start to go down and in terms of performance. And you're going to be burned out. And once you're burned out, then all of a sudden, somebody else looks better than you. So you have to make sure that you have time. Even here in America, they use that expression, recharging your battery. They use that expression. At some point, you have to stop and recharge your battery. Some people, I see them, they say, I've never taken vacation for the last 10 years. Is that smart? I think that's not smart in my opinion. Because what happens, you are not recharging your battery. You're losing your creativity. The longer you work, the less creative you're going to be. And the less able to pay attention to what you're working on and provide excellence in what you're working on. So the key thing is, don't let people push you if you are burned out. Stop. Stop and recharge your batteries. Stop and take a break. Go and sleep. There is nobody who was in charge of anything important in life than the Prophet ﷺ. Nobody. He was building a nation, not building a company or building a program or building whatever. He was building a nation. But he always made time to sleep, made time to pay attention to his family, his wife, his children, made time to pay attention to his companion, balanced everything. And if we don't learn from our Prophet, then there is no better example I can give you. Because he said, balance your life, and he lived that way. He balanced his life. So you need to do the same. Otherwise, you're not going to be able. And look at the nation that he built, 1.8 billion Muslims. So that's what we need to do.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I don't want to take everything, so I hope everyone here to have questions. Let's start from Mr. Bibit. Any question? Yes, anything. Just maybe from you have something you don't agree, or from your experience.
If you have comments, you want to share some of your experience with the rest of the group, don't be bashful.
Because he is one of business owner also. So
MashaAllah. So if you want to share anything with us, that would be wonderful. That's how we learn from each other. Okay, I guess we're done. So in our next halaqah, inshallah, that will be on August 28th. The topic will be Islam and women. We're going to be talking about that. And that's an important thing living in this country. Because a lot of people in the West, they attack Islam by saying women don't have their freedom, women are not treated equally. So we're going to be talking about that topic, inshaAllah, next halaqah. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وبارك عليه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله.